Alright, here's the process of firing up my forge. Turn the blower on, you can probably hear that going. And first thing you want to do is get some air blowing up through it, and then you can push everything out of the way without it falling in. First thing you got to do is close the draft off. And that comes roaring out of there. See the air coming through. I'm just trying to get to the bottom there so I can see if there's any clinker in there. There's a little bit. Okay. There really isn't much in this. I cleaned it out just before the last video, but little bits. Some few little bits and pieces. You can tell what they feel like when you get your hand in there because they're kind of scaly and heavy. And true to their name, they do clink. And that's one way to tell them apart from everything else. I don't know if you can hear that. They clink. Everything else doesn't clink. It's just soft, you know, soft and light. The clinker feels a little bit like metal. It's almost like that shit when you're welding. I don't know why I can't think of the term right now. See, and it does get stuck in there. What I have set up here is this is stainless steel. It doesn't look stainless steel, but it's stainless. If you don't use stainless, it'd burn all the fuck. So you got to, everything you use in the burning part of the forge has to be stainless steel, or something else that wouldn't burn, like ceramic or something like that. See, the clinker gets in some of the holes there. You just give it a little rap. Knocks most of it out. A few little bits and pieces in there isn't going to hurt anything. And the way this forge is set up, if you look at the bottom there, I don't know if you can see it, it's not very bright in here today, but just stainless steel 3/8 bars going across the hole. And when I run a rock coal, like anthracite, something like that, then I don't put that smaller grill in there. This grill is when I use pea coal or something that has a lot of coal dust in it. The coal dust won't really get through this. So when I'm setting up here, I just clean all this crap out of here. Make way for that grill. The screen, sorry. Just get it in there and just tap it in. Now I'm good to go for getting the fire started. Just got to set this tripod up here somewhere. It's not really any good spots for it. Okay. Just need some paper. Newspaper is ideal. Newspaper, when it burns and you pump air through it, burns really hot. So I take 2 sheets. I'll show you how easy it works even with just 1 sheet. Just ball it up, kind of shape it into almost like a jellyfish. That's the closest thing I can think of, or like a bowl shape, but I say jellyfish because that side is the side you want up. So you want it like that. Then it's actually just as I got my blower running, and you have to be a little bit careful that you don't burn yourself when you put this in there. So I get it burning in the bottom like that. Just get it going a little bit. All sides. Okay. And then take that little jellyfish, put it plain down, that, and then bury it real fast. that's how fast you can get this fire going. I've never seen anybody do it faster. If you could do it faster, I'd like to see a video of you doing it. Now I'll show you that I'm not just talking out of my ass. That's burning. Helps to have a little coke in there. Coke will burn real quick, but this technique works with straight coal. Works with pretty much anything. I haven't seen a better way yet. Nothing like newspaper, man. That sucker burns like shit. That paper is long gone. That's the coal burning right now. So that fast you have a fire if you use my technique. I see a lot of guys, they waste an awful lot of time prepping a fire. I mean, you should be able to get this fire up and running as fast as you need it. It's just like any machine. You know, there's no fucking around. You just go and you flick the switch and you go. It's like, you know, in metalworking, you're gonna use your tools as quick as you need them. You don't have time to fuck around with a fire. So if you have a good setup and you can get her going as quick as possible, you're laughing. See, I'm ready to use this fire. That fast. That fire is ready to be used. Look, I can put steel right in there. Start heating it up. Obviously it wouldn't fire up that quick if it was just coal, but it isn't much slower. It helps to have a bit of coke laying around. Coke is basically the coal with the volatiles cooked out of it. You know, the oils and things like that are in the coal. Coke is essentially just coal has been brought down to its rawest carbon form prior to burning. All this smoke is not coming from the coal, so to speak. It's coming from the oils and volatiles. This yellow flame is also coming from the sulfur. The higher the sulfur content, the bigger this flame. So this will tell you right here, this is really high sulfur coal. You can wash it out of it, but you know, and you can even buy it that way, already washed, but it's still going to have a lot of sulfur in it. It's really hard to get any kind of coal without any amount of sulfur in it. They may call it low sulfur coal. It just means it still has a shitload in it, but not as much. So if you're trying to forge weld, it'll be almost impossible with this fire. Sulfur really interferes with forge welding. So if you're into knife making and you want to make Damascus and things like that, any kind of welding, be it, you know, pattern welding or you know, whatever. Just avoid this type of coal altogether. But for ornamental working, the cheapest coal is the best as far as I'm concerned, because it's cheap. It does the same job. It heats the steel and you can beat away on it. And you know, this shit burns good. I love it. Look at that. I'm going to open up this fire so you can see how much actual working heat is in there. I wouldn't normally run this fire that way. It just gets way too hot. Look at that. Look at that nest of heat. Just playing with it like that, it's that hot, it's burning my fingers. I can't even work it from 18 inches away. So bury it up again. Just throw a little more coal on top. That makes the coke. So burns that shit out of it. I like to build up a lot of coke before I start doing any work. Like for the day, I'd just heap a shitload on there and make tons of coke. And then I'm good for most of the day. I have all the coke I need to do what I gotta do. Anyway, that's the fire, so watch the next video. It'll have something else to do with something else.